Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham III, at your service. Now, even Thomas the Tank included, rolled into one individual, you're going to learn something that is important information, not just a true story here. It's important information that goes long time. Right? Safeguarding is very important. However, when people use TikTok or social media, things always get a problem raised, right? I'm going to break it down very simplified, right? I don't bullshit. I don't BS. I get straight to the point, and then people on TikTok do false reports. Now, let's talk about TikTok. TikTok, you create your account, privatize it. Don't let everybody see what you got on your screen at first, because that's where the attention's being brought in, and it's not always the case. Right? People you trust, respect, and honesty goes a long way on this, so be aware this is no joke whatsoever. It's not like the Norfolk Railway blabbing it all off, getting what they want. It's not going to happen that way. No. So, what do we do, right? Then people ask one thing out of you lot, right? Safeguarding is very important on every part. But when I say about TikTok as a genuine app, it's using artificial intelligence to block you, ban you, and then ban you out completely. That's how they operate, right? When things happen on TikTok Live or little shorts, even that, people get reported, right? You may not have done nothing wrong. You may not have said anything wrong intentionally, but the community guidelines are so bent that TikTok doesn't know what is true and what is false. Now, a lot of people do understand exactly know where I'm coming from. Safeguarding is a very high priority subject, right? It's not like what you see is what you get. It's true. It's all facts and it's all logic. Hold on. When we talk about certain things like that, sorry for the delay, but I'm trying to put something across, right? I want you to understand there's more that meets the eye, right? When you're in a TikTok chair or on the other side of their departments, you're not getting a full picture. They take a little clip and they clip you for hate speech, everything else like that, and bullying and harassment on top, and all the other bits and pieces they add into the app. They're not giving you a safeguard position, are they? They're not working around. I said safeguarding is important, but it's not helping the user to know where you can actually cut it down a bit when you post it. Because when it's live, right, it goes through like hell. It's like a bit of a stretch. Yes, it's a mouthful. Yes, it is diplomatical. It can be solved. It can be appealed. But if your appeal has been denied, then they've got a full authority to ban you completely and take your account offline. Right? You don't need that. You need a certain way of when TikTok does these things, they do it because they get false reports, they get false acknowledgements. And I said, look, safeguarding is important. And when safeguards have been put in place, there has to be a reason for it, right? At the same time, people are not diplomatically thinking, what do we do with the most powerful family on the planet and we can't ban them? Right? As example. So if they ban me, they go to prison or they go to court, as a word to express it in layman terms of truth. But TikTok doesn't think like that. because their rules are different, because their app is like a virus, right? Their app is so controllable, they don't know what's right from wrong, right? Because false reporting doesn't go in anybody's favours, because it goes by the law, it goes by the Interpol, it goes through to the other law, and it goes bing, down the boom, 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 and it hits off, right? What do you think TikTok could do? Right, TikTok, in any aspect, right, has the ability to acknowledge the fact there is something wrong in the middle, right? When TikTok gets a message of false reporting that's been you lied to, or been deceitful, or been dishonest, then it's down to that user that reported you, right? It doesn't. I don't do that because I'm too honest, too kind-hearted. Yes, I may be blunt on my words, but at the same time, I'm no ordinary individual, am I? So if they ban me, they go to court. So TikTok needs to be very careful. So when TikTok gets this, TikTok gets that, then we all understand TikTok can be an advantage, but they're not helping you because they're not putting something in place where they say, right, we need to pause the TikTok live because we caught something that you need to delete. A little bit of deletion. Well, you can't do that when you're on a live. When you're on a live, it's full there head on, right? Strike on, right? People are now privatising their accounts because of safeguarding is number one. 2, you only trust the people you need. Your friends, your family, and your connections. Only 3 things, might add, right? And then people have to ask that when things add up, then you're going to talk about why safeguarding needs to be put in place. You've got kids, you've got adults trying to view all of this, right? When it's all there in black and white, you can't argue on a debate and say, no, he's a little liar, or he's a liar, pants on fire, whatever you want to name it. But then it's all true in the end because it's all facts, right? You need to put safeguards in place first. It's the safeguard mechanism that you have to put in place. TikTok doesn't give the user the safeguard. So the safeguard is not there. It's an empty shell. So when you think of your app, your account, your live, how to sort your lives out, repost it without that bit in it, right? So then it will unclip you without having to go for a appealing job where they say, oh, appeal approved or appeal denied. And then you ended up saying that's false reporting from someone. But it's not me in any angle because I'm too honest, helpful, and really useful. In every angle, Thomas, you're right in every angle. So when everything moves forward with safeguarding, we have to put ourselves first. Because the Hattons will always be around, but people don't want to believe it because they've seen it unfold. People's heard the language. It's understandable to a very high level degree, and you're hearing it through my voice as well and my mouth. No AI, no green screen, nothing like that. And it's not a BS. It's not something like this. We're going to be talking about now we've got TikTok out of the way. The next one to look into is one and only YouTube. Now, YouTube keeps updating their community guidelines without realizing, yes, this user is really telling sense, logic, and facts. I would never bullshit on my own channel. And when people realize, why do we do this? It's fact, it's logic, and it's truth. I will never lie, right? When people quote and moan and groan, they're asking one thing, right? it's reality. Right? When people realise you can't change what was meant to be unfolding here, you can't, because it's all set in stone. However, YouTube should have realised, yes, okay, they're using the AI system, which is against the law, which it can also override a lot of things that should not have. What deceives an eye for an eye? I said, I don't do AI or artificial intelligence or voice mixing because my voice is actually coming out legitimately. Mattel doesn't own me. Strike two. Because why the reason why Mattel think they own it all? I said, no, they don't. They abused the system. The same way as TikTok did. So now we're going to talk about Facebook. Why Facebook? Privatize your account. Now. Because then you're safeguarded. Because they can't look you up too quickly. Then you're safeguarding yourself. And everything you got on your actual personal profile is safeguarded as well. Now, when I say TikTok has got a lot to do with it, I said, yeah, well, look at TikTok. Do they have the advantage to show you, not you, but personally understand where they got wrong? You know, we go back to TikTok because TikTok is supposed to be a friendly, helpful app, but it's been abusive in some direction. So then you ended up realizing why. TikTok will not go down without a fight. Facebook won't go down without a fight. YouTube won't go down without a fight. Why? Safeguarding. It's very important information. However, it's what you're acknowledging to the community that puts the message forward. The Hattons have already been around for nearly 180 years, which is not a lie or a deceit or a dishonesty. I said, look at it. If you really look at what's unfolding, I said safeguarding is number one. Number two, did TikTok design a TikTok app for kids? Because you want to break that little system there. Instead of being one app, it'd be two TikTok apps or two Facebook apps. One for kids, one for adults. And then when you turn a certain age, like 18 plus, but you can't lie about your age. Right? TikTok is wanting something off you. When you got something you need, right? TikTok wants three things to prove your age. Your passport, your government details, and obviously your driver's license. Right? You cannot give them your bank details, your driving license, or the government details because you're basically giving them your whole identity and they use it against you. That's the reason why we don't provide it for TikTok. This is why we are actually stepping our foot down because it's reality on the other foot. When TikTok wants, TikTok gets, well, they're not going to get what they get because that's a warranty for them. When you want the ladies, then everybody say, oh, we need TikTok, we need Facebook and that. But you have to prioritize on how you're handling it. It's a bit of a fact on everything. It's there in black and white. So, when you use all three apps, right, or three social media departments like YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, put all your accounts on private. Because you don't want people searching you up. You don't want people knowing about you too much. And three, it safeguards you. Because then you don't end up saying, boom. And I'd say, I warned you so. So, thank you very much for listening to this live stream. Thank you very much.